The more attempts I take, the more opportunities I create. In order to get through life, you must be willing to understand life. We put too much focus on our external problems, money, relationships, and any other issues that surround us. It's important to look within and accept who it is that you are, and the reason being is not because that is who you will be forever, but be accepting to what it is you're starting out with and knowing what it is you gotta work with. What it takes that a lot of people don't have is time and patience. If you feel you don't have time, you do. You just have to find the right space and perspective on when is the perfect opportunity to work on yourself. Even if you gotta have moments or hours where you work on yourself, then that is allowing yourself to take what feels as wasted time into faith of time. Taking the exhausting moments after our fall to view back on ourselves, how we can reflect, but not just reflecting, challenging our thinking, and observing our actions of how it is we can create a change. The place people would rather be, though, is to stay in the place where life has ended up placing them for the time being until the next kick arrives. But once God sees you're ready for the ride, that's when it's time to buckle up. Have your emotions under control and make a promise that no matter how much life flips upside down, goes backwards, or has you in a state of confusion, is not surrendering to life, but to God's plan. It's a hard place to be. You will be brought to places you've never been. Confront old wounds and have your faith tested by stepping up to old challenges. The reason it would be better to choose righteous actions no matter how bad things get is because it's a promise that if you don't step out of that dark place and make yourself known to the world, then it will eventually find you and show you another lesson, up until you decide to step out for something different. Your battles will show up to your door or on the way to victory. When you step up, you create the opportunity for more awareness to what is really out there for you. Not only that, the time you make it out is when you become aware of what was holding you back. When your trials are completed, many will question where the courage, wisdom, and confidence has come from. But it's the exact same place they are scared to go and the place they are scared to leave. What has always been known and what is unknown. As it said in the Bible, faith without works is dead. It's like sitting in a waiting room full of tools, equipment, and books, but waiting for the prize itself to arrive in the room. Because you depend too much on the higher power to bring it to your doorstep. When God doesn't choose your path, He only directs it and provides what is needed for the way. Who you are inside your head is the character you play outside in the world. If you always feel locked in a certain mindset, caged in your environment, and unable to escape your habits, then you're most likely going to be imprisoned to your own suffering and limitations. When we become a victim to life circumstances for too long, we forget that there is a way to walk out, just as there was a way to get in. We only see what is being presented to us, but cannot see what is available and open to us. And if we cannot escape in a similar way that we were let in, we change our thinking and shift the perspective to exit the suffering place we've entered. And I understand. It will become hard to fight thoughts that replay every day, or how we tend to project the past to remind us who we are, or at least who we think we are and what we deserve. And I say I understand because I've been through this myself and more than once. The moment you decide to put your focus on God, He places it back on you. When you bring yourself to the knowing that you cannot allow God to step on your stage unless you clear the storm of emotions and thoughts, you begin to air out the room to see what it is God is trying to share, speak, and show you. It becomes hard to ignore our emotions, but focusing on God is focusing on life's truth. Even if it hurts, we feel like a failure, but who says you were meant to get it on the first try? We feel like life has no purpose, but have you thought about what is in your life at this current time that is possibly holding you back from your purpose? The thoughts we let fly in our head becomes the environment we relax in, whether it's a storm or peaceful setting, is up to you. We cannot instantly clear out a room of illusions if we never decide to take each one, test it for what it is, and throw it out. Some things are set up as a test, such as presenting something for you to fight past it, or what you're willing to accept as your reality. It's a steady process. To have faith is to have a rainy storm cloud over you, knowing that the sun is behind those clouds, waiting to show you a rainbow. by allowing enough rain to be released for your growth. The emotions and memories we choose to slowly let go of makes more space for the new ones to come in. What right do we really have to question God if He has created the universe, heavens, and the living, when our first mission is to understand ourselves and understand what it is we are capable of? And you may be thinking, well, it's easier to say than to do. And that's true. But take a second to think, where was I 5 years ago? Where was I 10 years ago? Do you think you would make it this far? What do you know today that you didn't know back then? And if you feel you're in the same exact place, guess what? There is nothing wrong with that. Because you've just now begun to change by shifting your mindset of knowing you deserve more. So you're here trying to discover a way for yourself. Failures and lessons are the steps to understanding. Expecting to get success on your first try is like attending a class you signed up for, asking for a test, and expecting to pass. I mean, it's possible, but how do you expect to pass with no knowledge or experience? Just because you were accepted doesn't mean you have everything you need for that class already. You bring yourself as you are, and you discover what it is that needs to be worked on. Cultivating stronger attributes becomes a filter to let in what belongs and keep out what is not good for your way of living. You become raised up to a level when you no longer have to sacrifice and give up everything you have to get what it is you desire. You end up in the right space of being able to understand and give enough to others and make their journey a bit easier. Not because you had to take all the suffering for them, but because you were meant to create the breakthrough for others to see and experience themselves. You were selected to be the perfect example, to give others the belief before they step in to the challenge, because you didn't have that when you stepped up. That's what makes you different and more respected. You were meant to open a door for those who choose to search for the key. When the key is building your strength and courage to break through a wall that is only capable of being broken with the muscle developed from the pain and suffering. You don't just become the light, you lead as the light through others' darkness. You will be a provider of light thanks to what you had the courage to do in the dark with your hands in belief. The moment you shift your perspective is the moment you get to sparking until you reach a state of mind where your efforts and new beliefs light up the room of truth.